Zalsha's meeting other. Chapter 1. Lex and Zalsha's meeting. Approaching the glow of the orb, she felt the urge to have it, or even just touch it. As S reached her clingy hands towards the orb, suddenly the orb explodes, spilling out many different gases and powers, soon clumping two together in the smallest of pieces to the largest of pieces. Lex's eyes squinted in reaction to the impact of the great light, and force the impact held. She could even feel herself slightly slipping. She noticed in what little vision she had that there was a figure slowly being formed from the bits of power clumping together. Just as the remaining power got sucked into the figure, Lex finally felt free to open her eyes a little wider, but what she witnessed was way better than just a glowing orb. As the figure remained floating off of the ground, the power inside of her finally relaxed slightly more. Falling to the ground and landing, her eyes opened and her hair bursted out of her head. It looked almost melted as it floated around her head. It was a bright white, looking almost see-through. Her eyes were no different, though they just had no pupils, and was the same color. She had large black, mechanical boots made out of some blactical stone metal. Just adding on, Lex noticed how it raised her height to around 6'5" or more, which gave Lex thought of how tall she actually was. Taking 2 steps forward, she began looking around her surroundings as she soon noticed Lex and immediately felt slightly intimidated by the waves of power she was sensing from her. "I'm guessing you touched the orb minus yet." Lex responded aimlessly almost immediately. Zalsha stared at her up and down. "Are you stupid? Minus, don't you realize what some orb can do?" "Nope." 3. Cause of Lex's uncaring attitude, it struck a small nerve in Zalsha. "Watch your tongue, girl." She snickered. Using one of her lighter abilities, telekinesis, she pinned Lex down, though shortly after she easily broke free, though Zalsha already somewhat predicted that it could happen. Without Zalsha realizing, Lex used her speed to get an attack out of Zalsha, though she dodged easily. As the two began attacking each other for a good 10 minutes now, Lex came closer this time to get a shot at hand-to-hand combat, though Zalsha took advantage of the close combat by soon after a minute of doing so. Zalsha swung her leg trying to kick of Lex's head, though she soon realized it was more difficult than she had interpreted. Transporting 50% of her power to the mechanical leg, she managed to send Lex's head flying. Thinking that was the of it satisfied, Zalsha returned to a calm standing and normalized her power, though she jumped slightly when she heard steps behind her. Zalsha snapped her head back to the noise. Seeing Lex smiling to herself, she instantly realized that she did not know how to kill her, and in a short-term panic session she teleported to her domain. Chapter 2. Val finds out D. Lex's Pove. Suddenly cutting Lex's snickering off, the mystery women in front of her disappeared or teleported, though her excitement quickly returned, getting the idea to report back what had happened. Teleporting back to the house, she slams the door open and squeals, "Val." "Guess what?" Val groans from annoyance in the shadows, slowly walking out, just screeching my name out like that. Lex is death-worthing. "Now why in the 7 emeralds are you screeching my name like this?" He growled slightly, raising his voice, sending a small shiver down Lex's spine, though she was used to this by now. "Oh boy, you wouldn't believe what happened while I was exploring. There was a white orb and boom. It turned into this woman. She was humanoid like me. And we fighted. It wasn't all too crazy though. But she did manage to swipe my head off. Which meant she had to be pretty strong, right?" she said, blabbering on enthusiastically before Val interrupted her in more of a serious tone, well, more serious than usual. "What? Where did she go then? Did you kill her?" He said, his tone raising once again. "Well, that's a funny story. I don't really know if she's dead or not." Cause at the end, when she realized I reattached my head, either she panicked and teleported someplace else, or just disappeared, she said casually. "Are you serious?" Val yells, visibly annoyed and worried that she could be a threat in some possible way. "Did you even try to teleport to her?" He growled, discreet for some sort of answer. "Hey listen, I tried. But she literally vanished unless she managed to teleport to some place that others can't go to. Lex replied asterisk. Zalsha's Pove. She stared across the emptiness landscape of her domain with wide eyes, which was showing off a gorgeous view of the insides of some galaxy. Adding on, with that info, the floor was like an hydrophobic liquid that you could surprisingly stand on, which was reflecting the view from around. Millions of thoughts were running through her mind on who the hell and what hell that person was, and what worried her more about the girl was that she seemed to be playing with her, making her feel slightly weak, which heavily agitated her. Val's Pove. Later on, Chaos met with Val by his request. There's someone we have to find and dispose of. Number her real form. Chapter 3. Asterisk author's note B2W. Just to give a little intel on Zalsha's forms, the one that have been seeing is not her main form, but more like a pre-form, we would say asterisk. Chaos Pove. Ever since Chaos had been dragged into finding and killing this rando, he's been tasked to search the caves she was found in and multiple areas above, though month had pasted and still met with no news. Walking with Val in one of the systems, they saw someone. The person was setting up lights one of the walls with some ability. To Chaos' surprise, it matched the description Val gave him. Are you the one Lex encountered? Val spoke with an alerting tone. Her neon white hair and skin really made Chaos question who and what the hell she was. How is that what the girl was called minus? Val growls in annoyance, causing Chaos to step to the side, figuring Val would do it himself. Teleporting right in front of Zalsha, punching her harder than usual, causing her skull to almost crush. In response, he steps back to see if she'll die or not. Zalsha's Pove. Before she left her domain, Sue was looking through what seemed to be security cameras, but it was being supported by her domain's excessive power. Looking through the cameras, she saw many people, including Val, Lex W and Chaos from time to time, but they would quickly leave, feeling an ominous presence around them. She even had a glance at Prime once. When she finally figured to leave, well, she found Val and Chaos. She coughed out and bled an odd dark purple blood-like substance. Though cause of this sudden burst of pain, she felt an odd nostalgic feeling minus. Looking around as both of them slightly panicked of this new world, it was covered in space all around. Soon Chaos and Val were met with Zalika, though her whole aura felt different. Her head was turned down and Zalika finally felt like herself once again. She wondered why she felt off. And cause of this exposure she had to be grateful. Asterisk, she looked up at the with gleaming eyes. Oh. Much more than 2. 6. Though Val and Chaos couldn't help but feel much more staring at them, and surprisingly her injury was healed as if nothing was there. Asterisk. I'm guessing you both would appreciate a name. Wouldn't you? Zalika, the pleasure is mine. Her voice was different by a toll. It was calm and calculated, as if she wasn't even a person they were staring at just moments ago. Ah. Well, Zalika, we would appreciate an explanation for all this crap. Or are you gonna try and fight us? Chaos spoke, uncertain on what do. I think I'd like have a small spar with you two before I do that. Val frowned. That's stupid. Zalika laughed to herself before speaking once again. Sorry boys, I've already made up my mind. Suddenly a odd, somewhat see-through cube appeared. It was floating, but then their thinking short-lived when Zalika kicked it towards Val with great force, though Val easily dodged it, allowing Chaos to attack her from behind. Zalika dodged it, though it still managed to land a marker small on her arm, cause of how fast the move was. But was met with Val rushing toward her and Chaos attacking her from above. Zalsha manifests a wall and kicks it towards Val, then when Chaos reaches her, she oddly just let him attack her. A chunk of her body got damaged, the worst spot being her shoulder, which slowly started healing. She teleports a good distance away, but still enough to hear echo the. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? But I don't ignore promises now, do I? This place is my domain, and in my domain anything can happen, though no one other than myself can enter it unless I bring them here myself. I'm unfortunately growing slightly bored. I'll teleport you both out now. Also, do stop you both from worrying. No, I do not have any plans to kill everyone or something. Hell, I would offer to be allies of a sort. And why would we be allies with you, huh? Chaos yells. Well, if I didn't have any reason to stay at your planet. Well, with the power of my domain, I would just simply destroy it. Minus she got cut off by Val, chuckling. You destroy our planet? You gotta be kidding. You really do not know anything, do you? Asterisk moves into Leon minus not about Leon. Moves into Prime, not about Prime either. Asterisk. Chaos speaks, as he grinned, and we're beginning Dumbass. She frowned and opens her eyes wider, as both of them saw the eyes more visibly now. Boop. They both fell off the ground, looking around themselves once again, making them have a sigh of relief when they realized they were back home.